Hello, my peeps. Welcome to Tuesdays with Tracey. I'm Tracey, uh, independent Stampin' demonstrator and the paper pusher and techno despiser. I don't know. I started to make that word up and then it wasn't really, it kind of got lost on the way. Um, I am just a couple minutes late because I couldn't find my DSP. I apologize for that. Um, and then I'm just trying to get the comments to show up, but as always, the comments are a gong show. I don't, all my other papers are somewhere. And I thought, no, I want time to make this card. So I'm going to, and we're basically going start to finish because I made the first one and then I ran out of time making the second one. I will tell you, why can't I make this open? That's what I'll tell you. I had tuna casserole tonight for supper. And it has, oh my goodness, it might be like 15 years since I had it. I used to make it all the time. Absolutely love it. I know people make fun of tuna casserole. I absolutely love it. I got my comments now. But I don't have any comments, but I can see the comments if they should happen to come up. So yes, if you're there, say hi in the comments. Somebody asked me at one time if I knew sorry, just a minute, things just screwed up my phone. There we go. If I knew why they couldn't comment on YouTube. And I'm not that tech savvy. My understanding though is you have to log in. Oh, hello, Tamara. I just popped up now, like, so you didn't hear my intro then, is what you're saying? Oh, nope, never mind. I think it did. There's a little bit of a time lag. Sorry. So yes, my understanding with the comments is you have to be logged in. So you can just like log in with a Google account, or you can sign up like a YouTube account and with your email. And you don't have to do anything. You don't have to have a channel. You don't have to do any of those other things. I think they just need you to sign in to register so you can make comments so they can cut down on, bullying and spam and untoward comments and things like that. So I'm pretty sure that is why. Nope. No. Yeah. Okay. I'd love to say I knew how to fix that tomorrow, but I don't. So let me just say again, hi everybody. It's Tuesdays with Tracey. I'm Tracey. Yeah. I love this card, and this card that we're making tonight. I just want to get to it. I want to. Oh no, sorry. Let me go back to the tuna casserole. I probably haven't had it in 15 or 20 years, and part of the reason is because I was 40. Yeah, so it's got to be getting close to 20 years ago. It's like 17, 18 years ago now. I found out that I had developed a gluten allergy. And there went all the good mushroom soups, right? So this is part of, at least the way my mom makes it. And of course, moms always make things the best. This recipe I had. And so I could never quite find anything that worked. And it just became frustrating. You have to find good pasta and, and 20 years ago, gluten-free stuff was so much more expensive too. And when I used to make it like just regular old stuff, I actually used to make it with spinach fettuccine and tuna, and oh, I loved it. So I have since found good mushroom soup. I have since found good pasta. And I don't know, about a week or so ago, I was thinking, you know what I really want? So I made it tonight. My son is not impressed. He just said it just tastes like warmed up tuna. So, which just honestly more for me. I so enjoyed my tuna casserole. So yes, that slowed me down a bit getting that in and done and stuff. And I finished it like 20 minutes ago because I was trying to finish other things. But so I had made this card before and I really wanted to have like a couple options to show you. And I had the one stamp set. I have so many things in front of me. There we go. This stamp set, when I saw it in the catalog, at first I was like, I like to color, but does anybody else like to color? Besides Tamara. I know Tamara likes to color too. And then I decided it doesn't matter because I love it and I love to color, so I'm making it. And this is one of the cards. The first cards I saw was this card. So I cannot wait to get to it. But I realize now I have a piece of paper in front of me and I should remember to say this. If you are not already a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, in order to get this lovely deal, you have to log in and start a subscription starting tomorrow on the Paper Pumpkin site, I can send you a link, but don't do it until tomorrow. With an email that has never been used for Paper Pumpkin before. So if you already have a subscription, you can't. It doesn't apply. They lots of times these are deals to get new subscribers, and you have to have. So there's your hint. You need an email that has never been used for Paper Pumpkin before. Almost. The other thing I'm going to tell you is look at this little collector box. What does it tell you? It tells you that my favorite birds. That's what I should have done one of the cards with. I have lots of pieces cut out still. My favorite birds, this Nest of Winter suite with the birds of winter and stuff. It's so pretty. Oh, I just love it. I've made so many things with it. I absolutely love it. I think I'm on. I thought I was on my second pack of paper, but I might actually be on my third. But you can see by this little hint here, and they told us on the demos get. Thank you. Demos get advanced. Like little tips and things about things, which means I should tell you. I should be able to tell you like how many cards and stuff, but I don't actually remember. I was so excited about all the other stuff. This kit coordinates with that suite in the catalog. It has some. It's fancier though. It has some threefold cards. So the cards they go kind of like this and like this. With oops, sorry, a little too low. So the card will like fold over like this, like triple fold cards. And this part has a bit of a window in it. So it's good for pictures or for extra decorations, like, the little reveal. They're very pretty cards and and I can't wait to see what the rest of it is. I don't know how much coordinates, I just know coordinates. Plus the new dies are out and I haven't got a good picture of them yet. The information, the really good graphics and stuff we'll get tomorrow, because today's the last day if you want the adorable little fall kit that comes out. Today is the last day to subscribe to that. So tomorrow I'll get better graphics. But I just wanted to give you a heads up that you can. So if you want both kits, let me know to order you an extra one today of the fall one. Subscribe tomorrow to this one, 40% off. Did I say at any point? I think I forgot. 40% off your first kit. That's a good deal. Okay, so that's Paper Pumpkin. And yeah, that's going to be an awesome one. Pretty sure they said cards. And I want to say they said 3 each of 3 designs, but don't hold me to that because I'll be able to tell you for sure tomorrow. Okay, is the suspense sufficiently built for my Yuletide card? Okay, so this is the card I took the picture of. My little teaser. Oh, here we go. This is always the fun part of this card. This card, I think I would have had an envelope on my desk. I do have an envelope. There's a deer stamped on it. Oh, just a minute. Nope, that's not an envelope. That is an envelope. There we go. So this card folds flat. Like this. So it fits very nicely into an envelope. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's probably, depending what you put on it for embellishments, you're probably going to be hit or miss. You're going to be, I don't have it within reach. You might be on the oversized card, right? So you might have to put 2 snaps on it. So that's what I was trying to get to. But it does fit very easily in here. I love die cuts. I love dimensionals. I have to hold myself back to not like put so much stuff on this that this card is 4 times the width, because you'll see it is it's got some layers there. But so it does fold flat. That was the point of that. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you those too. I'll show you those at the end. And then when you open it though, it stands. But this is the cool part. So I like to make a message, right? Today we celebrate wonderful, brilliant, fabulous you. And then this says enjoy. And this one says happiest of birthdays to you. And this one just has cute little things. And yes, I remember doing this. I can't actually remember where I found this card. And I Googled to find out what it was called. I don't remember who showed us this the first time. I can tell you by this paper, it was like probably 2 years ago now. 3, 2. This was the On the Horizon paper and suite. That was so love it. So yeah, you can, if you fold it the right way, you can make little things that pop out. But I do also remember what a pain in the butt it was to figure this out and get it in the right spot and find the right thing. And so I didn't do that. But it is, you can. It wasn't, I just didn't this time. So, and then it stands up like this afterwards and you can kind of spin it around. So this was, and yes, Tower Pinwheel card. So then I made another one right about the time I got this, which is what made me think of it. So this is a card which I have to show on my phone because I already mailed it to a friend. So it says, so happy to celebrate you. Just going to make sure I scroll the right way. I would have just shown you pretty cards that I of somebody else's, but so yeah, I was waiting for the new paper. And so we have this, and this says, hope your day is a happy one. Happy birthday, made with love. So this was, I had like a lot of fun with them. It's very purple. She likes purple. So that was one of the cards I made. And then I thought, no, let's get into Christmas. And then of course, today I'm going to now make another, well, unless I switch at the last minute. Anyways, would you like to, do you want to see this one? Oh, hello, Heather. In beautiful downtown Ottawa. I love Ottawa. One of my favorite cities. I love Ottawa. Yeah, so here's the card. And it's a pinwheel. So the reason that I thought this would be such a great card is because there's 4 buildings. So just a minute, I have to find my, because again, I did a story. I'll tell you a couple things that I learned as I was going, because it did work as expected. So here's the first page, if you want to do it. And I almost got this right. So I wanted to make sure that when you first opened it flat, it had a really good, I'll show you afterwards what I screwed up, because I thought it would make a good first page. But I wanted to make sure that it showed nicely, and I just about did. I put this second sentiment as close as I could, but you can still see just a little bit of the H peeking out, because I wanted this to just be like houses. Anyways, it says, from our house to yours, let's decorate the season with happiness. Now, I'm not sure I could have made this go too much closer to the edge without looking funny, but hoping your home is filled with the spirit of the season. I think I used, let me just double check afterwards, but I think I did. And then this one says, peace on earth, because it's the church. So originally, this was going to be my plan, is I was going to put this as the front. But then as soon as I stamped this, I stamped it so like I could have stamped it over, but no, I decided that this one needed to go on this side. So then my clear little front, which would have worked, now had, oops, sorry, I dropped a card. Now had letters sticking out. Closed captioning isn't showing up. It's on as a default. If it is not showing up, I have no idea why. I changed it actually on my computer. It shows up all the time for everything now. Yeah, I'm sorry, Heather. I don't know how to fix that. I know I have it on as the default, because I found out where to put it. When I was looking to put it as a default on YouTube, I ended up putting it on a default for everything. Because I had to get used to it. I had to figure out how to turn it off, because every time I watched a video, even if the video had subtitles, the closed captioning was coming up over top of it. It was crazy. Yes, I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix that. Oh, here, yes. Okay. So, can you see? There we go. I have a dimensional. I have one tree on each page that is up on a dimensional. This one is 3 of them are stamped. Only one's popped up. Because I have to have my dimensionals. And I do like to fussy cut, so I fussy cut out a bunch of trees. I was going to put the sentiments on as well, but then once I started, well, all of the labels, should be a button on YouTube, but maybe not until after it needs time to render, I think. Yeah, I think I already did it though. That's what I mean. I set it as a default. So yeah, so all of the sentiments I picked, all of the labels, like I had little labels that I thought might work, but all of the labels would have been so big they would have covered too much of the picture. So I went with just straight stamping it on there. The other thing I did, let me see, which house did I do it on? This one. Where'd it go? That one. You notice that the roof, well, the other thing that I don't think will show up, but the rooftop of this one is a little dirtier, because as I was doing my background, I was like, wow, with the blending brush. I was using a big blending brush because I knew I was covering a big area. I wanted it to look like a snowy sky, right? So, of course, as per usual, I am not that good at the blending. So there's some darker spots and some lighter spots, and you know, that's what it's meant to be. This one, though, I swooped too low and I went all over the roof. So then you can't, maybe I can get just the exact right angle. So I'm going to put my blending brush now. Oh, yeah, you can sort of see. I have Wink of Stella on the roof, like anywhere there's snow. And I'm going to put Wink of Stella all across the bottom here so this snow glitters. I thought about putting the, you know, I think I still have some of the white glitter cardstock. That might end up being there. It's retired now, but I might end up I thought of putting the sentiments down here. I thought all sorts of different things, but really I wanted a nice white snowy bottom, and I wanted it to consistently have white snow on the bottom of every layer. So I left it the way it is, but I'm going to put Winkerstell on. I just didn't do it this time because I knew I was going to be flipping it around and stuff. And I wanted the amount of time I'm going to put on, I wanted lots of time for it to dry. So the other thing I'm going to show you before we make the next one, and I show you how, because it will decide if you're, I should have given you the one of these times I'll remember and give you measurements ahead of time. Because this card, so much simpler than you think. See how this card is done, and this is a good one because it's dark. So I have this piece of DSP here, and all around it, I have an equal border. And I have an equal border on this side as well. So that makes kind of a wider border in the middle, right? Same on this one. So when I was getting to do this one, I knew that I was going to like wrap each scene around each section, right? Like this. So what I thought, and luckily it turned out to work, was I have to take this piece and instead of leaving, because this is basically a 1/4 of an inch in the middle, right? Like I've got an 1/8 and an 1/8 because the border on all the sides are 1/8. So I added a 1/4 to this one, or to the piece. And then, so I put the 1/8, oops, the 1/8 border on 3 sides of it and butt it up against the center. Now you have to make sure not to go over the fold because you still have to be able to fold this card, right? You don't want it all jammed up in that thing. But what I did was I got rid of the middle. I'm going to go down here. I got rid of the middle borders so that it's one solid picture. There's just a bit of a seam. So I'm going to show you. Maybe we'll do that. Because I'm going to use this paper, partially because by the time I got all ready to go, and I needed one more fall birthday card, I didn't have time to die cut anything else, but I still have this from making other cards. So I'm thinking somehow that's going to help me. So I will show you. This, like I said, I was late because I couldn't find the paper. So I have these pieces of paper. I have all the pieces ready. And I'm going to show you how we make this from start to finish. And I think I'll do the same thing on this one so that you can see the effect with DSP. And then you can choose which way you want to go. So once again, fancy measurements. Let me just spin it. I'm going to write no inside border. I will take a picture of this, and half of it's in pencil, so you're not going to be able to read it. I will take a picture of this, and I will post it when I post the pictures afterwards. So you have the measurements. But on the off chance you are actually going to try to play along. This is the DSP slash cardstock scene. I'm going to write beside it. Okay, I think that should make sense now. Okay, so there we go, Pinwheel Tower. So our base is a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece of DSP. Could you use cardstock? Probably. Would it be very thick and bulky and not fold as flat? Pretty sure yes. I didn't try it. I'm just assuming because I know how this feels that if you had a cardstock center, it's not going to work as well. This is a lot more pliable and a lot flatter when it folds. So the base is made out of a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 square of DSP. And then these cardstock panels, I should show you on a card since mine's not actually put together. So these cardstock panels here, you need 4 of them. And they are 2 3/4 wide by 4 1/4 wide, which I will show you in case you were wondering. Here's a sheet of cardstock. And here's 4 panels cut off of it. So this basically, the panels that you use on this, you're using the same amount of cardstock. You're using half a sheet. Cut a sheet in half lengthwise. So this is 4 1/4 and 4 1/4. And then these are 2 3/4 each. It's exactly half a sheet of cardstock. And then, so for the DSP panels, and I guess the other thing I should show you, because I made all of mine match. You know what? I am going to, because I haven't done it before, I'm going to cut it according to the first instructions, and I'm going to do it the other way. These don't have to be the same. I've just made mine all the same, but I am actually going to change that today. Yep, I'm just going to flip one piece over, because I love the backs of these papers as much as the front is so nice. I love the patterns on the back. So that's what I'm going to do. So like the DSP is not necessarily like I said, I use scenery stuff, but you could use just a pattern. Can I do something very quickly? I don't know if I can or not. My brain's not firing fast enough right now. Anyways, I'm going to do it the other way. So the pieces I cut, like when I made this card, sorry, that's what I was looking for in front of me. I cut these at 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 so that I could get rid of it. And I made one big piece, stamped everything on it, and then cut it in half. And I made sure when I was stamping it that I knew that like roughly where the cut was going to go. But if you were making this from scratch and you're just using various DSP, you are cutting it in 2 different pieces. So these pieces in total equal 4 by 4, but you need a 1 1/2 and a 2 1/2 inch strip. And then, yeah, if you didn't want the inside border, then cut a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece, and then you're cutting it just slightly off. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to post that afterwards. That's my extra piece. I don't need that. Okay, so once you cut these pieces, there's also very little scoring or anything to do. I said the first, I really wish I could remember. Tara, maybe you remember. Was this one of the sisters maybe that did this at one of our things? I don't remember, but I do remember seeing the card and thinking, oh, cool, man, I better get my notebook out. This is going to be a lot of work. I got to remember how to, and then watched it and went, huh, that card is deceptively easy. Okay, so this, I'm going to use the same DSP as I cut for this one. I wanted gray because I wanted this to be all soft and subtle and the coloring to be the standout. So when I folded it, this is smoky slate. I'm trying to get the right angle here. I got my cutters in the way. So this is the smoky slate, maybe lobby a few years ago. Yeah, that actually sounds familiar. Elizabeth does make pretty cards. Yeah. Okay, so the inside here you can see is gray, right? The other side of this is the basic beige. So when you fold it, it doesn't really matter how you score it, but when you fold it, you're going to see one side of your DSP, you're not going to see the other. So whichever pattern you pick of DSP, just make it something that, excuse me, that you that one side is good to show on the inside of the tower. Okay, so we have this piece is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and we are going to score at 1, a 2, 3. How many of you guys know Lawrence Welk? A 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the way I said it. That's what it made me think of. Lawrence Welk. Lawrence Welk would be like 120 years old by now, I'm guessing. Okay, so we're going to score at 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. So you end up with a little 1/4 inch piece off to the side. And we now can put our trimmer away because that was the extent of cutting and trimming. Well, that's not true. Actually, we have to cut the DSP, but I'm going to cheat on that one. Okay, so I want this to be my outside. Okay, I'm going to fold this first and I'll show you. So the one card I made, which seriously, I keep moving things on my desk from where they originally were. I think it's this one. Nope. Oh, yeah, there we go. So I don't know if you can see. So this one was starting to get, the DSP was just a little long. And it was starting to get frayed because it's been sitting on my desk for so long. So then I went to like try to like just pull off a little bit and it's like a hangnail, right? You pull it off, and so I took like a big gouge out of it. What I'm trying to show you though is that when you're folding, you can kind of see a change in the pattern. This little 1/4 inch flap is right there, right? So instead of being a smooth line, I don't think I can zoom in enough to show you. There's a 1/4 inch flap. So when you go to fold this, the difference is this. If I put it on the outside, right, like this over top, it hides it. Okay, I just folded my paper backwards, so I'm gonna have to fix that. And you put your thing over top, you won't see it. If you do it the other way, it's because I was trying to get the inside of this. I want the beige to be on the outside. Sorry, just a minute, because I folded my paper the wrong way. Okay. So when I did it the first time, this is what I did, right? I made this nice clean tower and I tucked this little tab in. But when you tuck the tab in, the part you're actually going to see is the inside. So now what I see is this little join mark, right? Certainly not the end of the world. So what you want to do is you actually want to put it on the outside. so that it's nice and clean on the inside, which means you have to put your glue, your adhesive, whatever you're going to put. You know me, I like my tear and tape. You have to put it on the inside, on the good pattern, on the pattern that you want to see inside here. That's where the tear and tape has to go. So I'm going to make this entire card with tear and tape. I would imagine, because I love tear and tape, I would imagine most people would make it with white glue, and then you have a little bit more time to maneuver, but that's not my style. Okay, so I'm gonna take this. So tear and tape is just slightly wider than this little tab, so we just have to fold it over. Now you want to make sure that this is going to fold flat. So we are going to lay it down like this so that we get a nice flat one. And it will drive me nuts. So I'm making sure that I line these edges up, right? So by doing that and folding it there, and then we can fold it this way, you could probably use your bone folder to get nice edges, but I find that it's DSP, so it really, you can just press on it. So see how I have this nice inch by inch by inch by inch square. And I've glued the flap on what appears to be the outside of my column. Like, this is the tower part of the tower pinwheel. And it goes flat. Oops, there we go. So we can lay it down flat. So I guess it's up to you how you want to do this. I, of course, like to do things probably the hard way. But I put my tear and tape on my tower. If you're using white glue, I would say wait until the last step and put it on before you go. But I'm going to put tear and tape on my, and I'm putting 2 pieces. Tear and tape is very good and very strong, but I figure that anything that only has one point of contact, it's more likely to twist or go a little crooked or whatever. So if you have 2 and you put it on straight to begin with, it should stay straight. Is that physics and tried and true? I don't know. But in my mind, that's what it is. So you will always notice that I always, anything, well, like the one little skinny piece, no. But if it's any kind of size, yeah, there'll always be at least 2 strips. I put together my haunted home kit that I got because I don't like hot glue guns. So I didn't want to use it if I could. So I tried with tear and tape, and everywhere it said to put like 1 bead of hot glue, I did this. I put it on all 4. Yes, I put 2 strips of tear and tape, and with the exception of the one place where I put it on crooked, so I pulled it off and then stuck it back down again. After about 3 weeks, that seam popped open, so I had to just put new tape on. Don't just keep reusing the old one, and it's fine. But the other places where I put just like this, like 2 strips of tear and tape instead of the hot glue, my house is just fine. So that's what we're doing. We're going to cut the DSP next. I'm going to show you how I would do this. I'm not going to do it any different than I made the other ones, but I don't know if that's just me. So you guys can all chime in. Now, this piece of DSP, I don't know if the funny thing is, I don't know if I have enough small leaves to decorate it. I know what I can do. I love these leaves. So if you have not discovered it yet, and last time I looked, and I'm sorry to tease you, because the last time I looked, it was actually currently unavailable, but it'll come back. It's from the online exclusives. And one part of it, I don't remember which. I want to say the embossing folder is the part that's currently unavailable. But when I first saw this paper, I bought it for the sole purpose. I mean, I've used it for other things, but I bought it for the sole purpose of making leaves out of the backside. Because look at these. Look at that was total fluke that I picked 4 things because I didn't even look at the back with 4 different colors. Go me. I'm gonna pull some more of these out. So this is what I did. Like you can see, one side is the scenery part. So that's this one. That's this one. That's one of those. I don't think I made any green ones. That's this one. So I just made leaves out of the back of them. I don't think I have a green one yet. Well, I might have to do it. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Changing leaves. So it's got the nice pictures, which just a minute because I have lots of leftovers, so I can show you. You can stamp, right? So I can stamp this leaf, and I can use this die, and I can cut it out. Well, it goes like this, but I can use this die to cut it out. I can make these pretty little die cuts like this. These are the other leaves. Which one's this? This is this one. And this is this one. Right? So you can, oops. This is just a regular piece of paper. I don't know if it'll show up better. That I just ran through the embossing folder and the dies at the same time. You can stamp and run through the embossing folder and die cut at the same time. So this one I stamped first. Then I ran it through the embossing folder with the die cuts. You could, like this one, you could just die cut. And then, sorry, I wasn't actually planning on giving you a whole, hey, did you see this? This is like the coolest set ever. And then you can also, I'm knocking everything all over my desk. You just can't see it off screen. You can also just use it as an embossing folder. Is this not pretty? Okay. Get all my bits and pieces out. So yeah, I totally love this set. But I bought it so I could make these leaves. So we're going to use those leaves. And what I'm going to do, because I want to show you that you can do this with 2 different colors. Oops, I've knocked this all over the place. Is, and I think I might have to, because like I particularly like this one. But it's too big for one panel. So I think I'm going to span a panel there. So before you start cutting, I guess that's where I was going with that point before I went off on my little sidetrack. Kind of have some sort of a plan for what you're going to do, especially if you're cutting paper like this. Like if I was just cutting, Christmas pattern paper, cut a couple strips, boom, you're done. And that would be the much faster way to go. We'll see if I can do that at the end, because that was by far going to be the faster way. But if you're doing something like this, you just want to make sure you kind of have a plan so you know what piece you're going to cut off. So on this one, because I am going to cut, I said I'm going to do them different. Okay, I'm going to go with the 4-inch piece. So I'm going to cut a 4-inch piece. So I'm cutting a 2-inch strip off. The question is, do I have a plan? No, actually I didn't. I do want one that I can write on. So I'm going to cut this way. I'm going to hope for the best, but I'm going to cut like this. Then I'm going to have all these strips later to make something else with. And I'm going to cut this. So this is my 4-inch by 4-inch piece, which I'm doing just the easy way. And then I'm going to cut 1.5 inches off. You can also double check, but you can see on here. So I need a 2.5 by 4 and a 1.5 by 4. You can see right there. So I'm going to go, oops, what did I just say? 1.5. So there's one set. I'm going to keep those in order over here, off to the side. Move that out of the way. So I'm going to cut this 2 inches off. Obviously, if you're using 12 by 12 paper, you're going to be trimming a lot more. But yeah, just have a, I think I need ground. I think I need ground in each one of these. That's what I've decided. So I'm trimming off some of the tree just so I can save the ground. And then it's always going to be, this is always going to be the skinny side, right? So, oops. So make sure when you're making your plan that you always know this is going to be the 1.5 inches, is going to be the piece on the left, and this is going to be the piece on the right. So there's one more. Ooh, look how pretty that one is. Ooh, if I cut off 2 inches, do I still have ground? Nope. Okay. Oh, this sky is so pretty though. Good thing you get like 4 or 8 sheets of each one of them in the back. That's 4. Ooh. See, now there's one where I'm going to keep it so that I keep that sun in. 2 inches off. And then, yes, just make sure, because I keep turning it over so I can use my little guillotine because it's my favorite tool. But yeah, just keep making sure you turn it back the way you're supposed to so that your scene is going the right direction. And then this is the last one. I'll cut this 2 inches off. I don't know if this, I realize now that I'm like focused on what I'm doing and like, I don't even know if I'm offering any relevant tips as I go. I really did want to have this like cut out and everything ahead of time. It didn't work. But damn, it was good tuna casserole. Okay, so these are my pieces. Now the next step you want to do, because now we have 4 panels. See, this is why I never get finished a project. This is why as soon as I do something, I get another idea. Okay, so can you think of my new ideas that I just thought of now I have to try? Because I just did this. And I said you have 4 panels. What else has 4? Seasons. Yes, you could do this card and each one of the panels could be a different season. So we have the fall one. We have this something meadows, meandering meadows, I want to call it. We have that one, which could be more summery. It has like flowers and stuff in it, so that could be summery. If you still have leftovers from last year, we did have a Christmas one or a winter one. I don't know if I still have that. I'll have to, or maybe we'll just wait and see until we get it the next time, or we'll find one of these that is more wintry looking. And then spring just needs to be brightened. But yeah, you could do 4 seasons. And then you could just turn your card each season. You could have a new. Oh, see, again, this is why I never get anything finished. Okay, so here's my 4. And I do like to try to come up with like some semblance of a plan. So this one's going to go on here. And I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm probably just going to end up trimming. Oh, maybe I don't have to. I think I can do that. I'll have to do it afterwards, but I think I can just trim this down and I cut it here so that this one goes on this piece and have it kind of go sideways. So I'm going to put this one on here. I do want to put like at least a sentiment on it. Not that I have to put a sentiment on every single one. And honestly, and yes, full disclosure, meandering meadows. Okay, thank you. Full disclosure. Sometimes my designs are completely dictated by what do I already have die cut. I have one little circle die cut. Do I have any more little basic beige ones? I don't think I do, not in that pile. I don't know. I don't think I have it there. Okay, well, we'll see. But I do, I mean, at some point I have to put at least one sentiment. So I'm going to put, maybe I think I'll put the sentiment here because it's in the middle of the sky. It's not covered up anything too much. So then, maybe I'll put this leaf on here. I'll come up with something else to put on that one. This one is going to go, actually, I think I'm going to go like this. Nope, no, I'm not going to do that. No, because that looks funny. You know what? Maybe this one just has to have one leaf on it here. I'll look out here. I'll make it look like they're falling on each other. I can trim the stems off these later, so maybe I'll just do something like that. What color don't I have? I don't know that I want a green leaf. That's part of my problem. Okay, I'm gonna go with yellow again. Little sliver of yellow. Oh, actually, maybe this one will have both on it. Okay. So I've decided roughly, these might change, but I've decided roughly what's going to go on my things. Now I have to decide what order I'm going to do. So if I had, like, I don't want to have, if I had 2 purple leaves and 2 yellow leaves, I don't want yellow, yellow, purple, purple. I want purple, right? So however, actually, I think it's just going to go like the way it is. So this is my order now that I'm going to put on my cards. Now, I personally always put the panel on first. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to stick a panel here, right? And it gets a piece of cardstock on it. And then we're going to put another panel going this way on this other side. And this is where the other piece goes. Now, when I made this card, I absolutely had to put the panels on first because I had to make sure that when I did add these pieces of cardstock, that the tops lined up perfectly and that this part lined up. And this was really important. If I did it ahead of time and I was off by a little bit, then I was going to end up with a gap here after all the trouble I went to not have a gap. Because these ones are going to have a border on both sides, because I cut them so you could see the border on both sides part. I probably could stick these down ahead of time. So this is basically how this is going to go, right? It's going to go like this. So I could do this ahead of time, but I am very picky about the tops lining up. So your choice, if you think you can do it the other way, and I will show you that you can, like when you're laying them on, you will see them flat. But I'm going to go with my method. And I'm going to put the panels on first. So pull my so this is the point where if you were using the white glue, this is where the white glue would come in. You definitely didn't want to get it ready much before this. Okay, so I'm putting this down flat, and I'm very lightly lining it up so that it is just to the score line and not past it. And then I'm going to stand it up. Okay, once I get the first one on, then I do them all standing up. But I just want to make sure that I start the first one right. Okay, so they're standing up to get them nice and even, then I'm going to push down. Okay, so because I'm trying to make sure that the top lines up and the bottom lines up, that they're not, because if I put this on crooked, the whole card's going to be crooked. So this way. So now I'm going to take off my tearing tape, take off my backing. So I've got the first one on. And so this one is going to be, where'd my piece go? I guess you could start putting things on now, but this is going to be this piece. Right? That's where this one's going to go. My cardstock is slightly bent there. That's where that one's going to go. But I'm going to put all my panels on first. So this one needs to butt up against this other one, but not so much that it can't fold. So like you want it butted up, but don't push it like super tight against it. So I find once the first one's on, I find that just standing them up, pushing them against, not pushing them against this, not each other, is the way to do it. Now, let's see if you can show you. Can you kind of see? I'll get the right angle. There's just like a hair in between them, but when it stands up, and once you get all of them on and it folds in, you're not going to, the gap's not going to be super noticeable. But I don't want a huge gap in there. It's okay. I mean, it's gray. All you're going to see is the gray DSP, but I just want it to look as clean as possible. But if I don't want to push it so close that I make it too tight and then I can't actually fold my card. So I'm getting my next one on. Sorry, I just realized that was not on the screen. So I'm getting my next one on. So once they're stuck enough to the thing, then I can do this. So each time I fold the next one over, right, I'm making sure. So before I get all of them on, where'd my other piece go? Before I get all of them on, each one is getting a fold, so I can make sure that nothing's too out of whack before, because you don't want to get all the way to the end and then realize they're all crooked. So each time you do this, you're going to fold another piece over, and it'll tell you if you got any of them crooked. And then the last one, same thing. Oops, again. I don't know why my camera's so far back. I'm just gonna line that guy up. There we go. So now I know, like I said, making sure that you can fold all the different directions. And then it's just a matter of putting these down. And actually, I was going to use tearing tape, but in the interest of time, I'm going to use my seal, which I also realized I can see the red of. So you know what that means? That means I don't use it very often, and as soon as I do, it's going to run out. Okay, so then this one, we have an 1/8 of an inch reveal all the way around. So I can put my first piece down, knowing that, oh, I did it backwards. Oh, new plan. Oh, bugger. Okay. See, I looked at the time and I thought, oh, I have to hurry. We're gonna run late. I was gonna flip these ones over. I should have done it on the desk. Okay, so there's your lesson. Learn from Tracy's mistakes. I wanted to do this. I wanted to show you a different thing. Oh, you know what else is important to do that? Because when you do that, it tells you if you have the right color leaves or not. See, this panel is too big. I wanted it this way. I wanted a dark panel and then this. So, good thing I used seal and not tear tape. So I'm going to fix it this way because it doesn't fix the other way. Stand by one. Here's my tip I will tell you. Excuse me. So I'm peeling. I just picked it up and I'm peeling it off. And then I'm going to turn my card around and I'm going to peel this way. Don't ever peel where you go like this and pull, because if you're pulling this off into the cardstock, you're more likely to rip the part of the cardstock you can see, even if you're just ripping a layer off. So when you get to the end, pull it the other way, because if it does tear like this, well, I can show you on here. You can see where it tore. You can see where it tore, right? It tore pieces off. And it took them off of here, but it's all contained underneath what will be covered. I don't think I can get the right angle. Oh, there you go. So it'll all be under the DSP, but if I had pulled this way and it tore here, then you would for sure be able to see it. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to find which piece of paper was this. Now, lucky for me, if I was trying to match up the trees, I'd be hooped. But I'm not trying to match up the trees. I just need the yellow on the back. Put that in the garbage before it gets sticky everywhere. So my fix-it piece is going to be 4 by 1.5. See, isn't it better for me to waste my DSP rushing? And then you learn the lesson, don't rush, because you'll just end up wasting your DSP. I'll move those pieces over here. Those will get used for something else. Okay, so you know what? And now that I've done this, I so like the way this looks. Put extra seal on. I'm so confident on this one now. Okay, so let's try that again. I am realizing, however, but I'm hoping it all comes together, that my basic beige idea, because I just wanted a neutral background, and I'm loving basic beige. I don't know if that was the best choice. I think I should have picked a darker color. But I think by the time I get all the DSP on and all the pretty leaves, you're not even going to notice the background anymore. So, okay, so this is where, same thing, you have your 1/8 reveal all the way around, but you want to be careful as you're putting this one down, especially if you're particular like myself, to make sure that you're lining up like your tops and your bottom. Oh, see, I love the way that looks with the two-tone. Oh, flip to the next one, which was this. Okay, so I'm obviously not going with my original plan, but I could go with, see, now that I've done this, I think I'm not going to be able to finish this card. I'll have to finish it afterwards because we don't have enough time. I'm going to find sentiments that I can put on here. And I'm going to put the leaves on this side, I think, and put the sentiments here. But I'll have to go back and look and see what color, for sure, what color leaves I want. I kind of think I want the leaves to match. And I think I'm gonna have to cut a green leaf because I think I want the leaves to match this strip, but not be on that side. I think I want sentiments on that. I'm just making this up as I go. Can you tell? This is how I design cards. I have an idea. In the process, I get 16 other ideas. Oh, why is this one so long? I get 16 other ideas. And then by the time I'm done, I've made 6 cards, and they're probably somewhat like what I started, but not necessarily. And again, you want to be careful with the embellishing on this. When you make your plan, you don't want to have too much in the way of like die cuts and layers, and because you don't want your card to be so thick that it won't fold. Oh, but I like the way these two tones are looking. Yeah. See, as I go, I just get a sense of things, and my sense tells me that I want this to be green. And just to show you that it really doesn't matter, I'll put the big panel on first. You just want to make sure that you're, like, I think oops, I would rather put them on after they're on the tower so that I can make sure the top and bottom lines up. Just to cut, I cut something a little different here. That one, the reveal is not quite as big. But because I cut this piece in half, which is also why, I guess if I was using totally different patterns, I couldn't do it. But because I'm using this, I like to cut a 4-inch piece, like 4x4, and then just cut the other one off, because then they are the exact same height. Because I cut them at the same time. I think the difference in the reveal on this is because it's, I mean, I'm squaring things up as best I can as I put them on. I love this idea. Well done, Tracey. That's a great idea. But I think there's like, they're off just by like little fractions as you put them on the tower. And that would be the end of that. So there we go. A little bit of overkill, but we're gonna go with Seal Plus for the other ones. Yeah, I pretty much will do most things to avoid using liquid glue. I do use it, but it's, you know, if I tried every other possibility, yes, okay, fine, I'll use liquid glue. That's kind of how it works for me. Okay. Oops. I still have the habit. I mean, I don't even think we had it for that long. What was that stuff? The really sticky in the solid black case. Why am I all of a sudden forgetting what that stuff's called? One of you guys will know. Oops, I just put that upside down. Hopefully I didn't put any of the other trees upside down. Oh, of course I did. I put this tree upside down. See, that's what I get for rushing. I'm going to see if I can fix that later. Remember what the black one was called? And it was super sticky. And you had to make like a check mark at the end to break the run. Because of that, I still check mark at the end of all the seal. Oh my goodness. Always make sure if you have directional paper that you look what direction you are putting it on before you put it on. All right. I'll call this the blooper episode. I have to fix that afterwards. This is, I'm going to put, because I'm going to put extra tape on it to keep it from tearing. Oops, I did tear it a little bit. Let's see if we can make that work. There. I'll fix it up. I'm going to cover it with leaves. I probably should have just left well enough alone, because I'm going to put leaves over top of it, and it probably nobody would have noticed. But I noticed. And you know how sometimes once you notice something, you can't unnotice it, like ever? Yeah, that's kind of where I was going there. I went totally off this piece of paper with the tape. Okay, so now I'm going to pay attention to which direction is up. I'm going to put my tree on the right way, lining up the bottom. Obviously, having an off day, I don't tend to, I mean, I make mistakes. We all do, because we're all human, but this many mistakes. Focus is shot today. Okay. That's okay, because this card's going to work in the end. And yes, I have enough adhesive on that I could reuse this piece of paper. There we go. So that is how it is supposed to go together, right? And this is what it looks like with two different, like totally different. Because yes, I realize all my samples, I've gone the same piece across, but these could be two different patterns. This could be solid Christmas, you know, like, you know how the one side is bolder and one side is more patterned? That's totally what this is. Oh my goodness, look at this. And then make sure that you're not, I love things that like hang off the edge of the card, but we're not going to be able to do that on this one, because this is a very full envelope as it is. I'm just going to give my leaves a haircut. I don't want to cover up too much of the tree. I think they have to be like this, so they're kind of based in something. Anyways, I'm going to figure out the leaves, and I'm going to figure out the sentiments. I don't think the sentiments are going to be on circles necessarily. I could also maybe stamp leaves down here. I could put, these don't have it. If you cut your die cuts with adhesive sheet behind them. And this is just to give you an idea, because these totally don't match. I thought I had more of them somewhere. Oh, there we go. Take the dark one off. But yeah, you could, I mean, this could have like little sprigs on it. So I will have a picture of the finished product for you tomorrow. I just know I'm about to run out of time. And because I changed my plan midway, this was originally going to be a Christmas card using the sled bundle. And then it became, nope, I want to use up these leaves because I didn't have time to pre-cut the sleds. And who knows, maybe tomorrow I'll have both. But nonetheless, those are the basics of the tower card. And yes, if you want to make little scenery ones on white cardstock, this is, I don't know if I ever mentioned that. This is just plain white cardstock. I blending brushed the sky, and then I just stamped little snowflakes on it. And all the rest of it is just stamped like flat. And then each layer has one little tree in it. And I tried to put the tree like on the outside, because then as it folds, or sorry, like one was on the outside, one's on the inside, one's on the out. So that as they fold, they're not all in, like it's not all bunching up in the same place. They kind of spread them out. And then we have the original one. So yeah, some ideas. This is like little die cuts and embellishments, but they're flat. They're not popped up. This is popped up on a dimensional. This one's just one little dimensional. This one has a dimensional, got a little die cut tree on it. So you want to keep the I guess the embellishing. I don't know if twine, other than something like this, like a little twine bow, but I'm not sure how much wrapping or ribbon you can put on here and still expect it to fold flat. But there you go. We have the tower pinwheel card. Well, thank you. I mean, yeah, this one turned out, this in my head, I envisioned it, and it actually turned out how I envisioned it. So yeah, once I put the Wink of Stella on to make it, I'll do that tonight. And then I will sit it like this so it can dry, and I'll stop folding it, because no matter how many times, I can't stop doing this. Like when I get this card, I can't stop doing this. And I'll let it dry really well, and then I'll take the pictures and post everything tomorrow with the measurements. So yes, lots of fun. And then when I post my pictures tomorrow, maybe I will post the measurements tonight, and then I'll post my pictures of my finished products tomorrow. And then you guys can post the ones you made, because this is a fun card. You really should try it. just don't do all the same mistakes I made. But yeah, this two-tone, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, there we go. Put that like that. Ta-da. Oops, I'm shadowing my instructions. So yeah, I'd love to see what you guys make. The more ideas, the better. Ways to decorate, ways to coordinate. Lots of fun. And yeah, I have a feeling that because I had two things for tomorrow, and the other person in both things has both canceled. I no longer have to take my brother to the dentist. His wife is now taking him, and I no longer have an event at night because the host couldn't do it. So this is, I have the whole day tomorrow to play. So you might end up seeing the original sled card as well tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I would love to see your creations when you make them. Thank you everybody for tuning in. And I hope you have a lovely evening. I will have more fun and frivolity as the week goes on. I'm looking forward to a team meeting this weekend where I get to craft. And then I have another one at the end of the month, another team demo event. And I love those ones the most, where I don't have to prep anything. I just get stuff and I get to play and make things. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So there'll probably be pictures from that as well. I did update the Christmas ornament poster, and the November Crafternoon is I've switched it to Reindeer Fun, because I can't stop playing with that one. That's what I was going to show you. Sorry, I'm going to go over now by a minute. I don't know if the open house I did on the weekend, I did a quick video too, but I don't know if I ever actually finished showing these little cards I made. These are from the More Than Autumn, I think it's called, set with the cups in it. And there's little leaves in it, and I absolutely love these little leaves. Ooh. So this is just this is from the Country Lace DSP, and to me it looks like denim. So to let you know that these little books can hold a gift card, and I just colored the edge to make them look like books. But yeah, as you know, I have a slight obsession with these reindeer. And I cannot get enough of these reindeer. So our new rolls of lifesavers are kind of long. I think it might be better instead of putting like one at an angle. I think because lifesavers for the most part now come individually wrapped. I might just put like little piles of individually wrapped ones in here instead. But yeah, I think of these as lifesaver books still, but they're so cute. So yeah, we're doing the reindeer class, and I have updated poster for that. I can give you an idea of two of the cards. One of them has two versions. In case you're counting and go, that's 3 cards, Tracey. So this was my swap card. I'll start showing swaps soon. Look at this, Mr. and Mrs. Reindeer. And then, oh, see, I love the reindeer. Okay, so I will have those posted. I'll probably post those tomorrow as well, just because they have updated registration links and prices and all those kind of things. So I'm putting a group order in tomorrow morning if anybody needs anything. I will finish all this and all the pictures and do that tomorrow. And yeah, remember, Paper Pumpkin next gets 40% off for new subscribers. Let me know if you have any questions, if I can help you in any way. I am happy to. I will be here in my craft room awaiting your call. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.